Hello YouTube. I'm doing a deck profile on my Gem Knight deck, and this is one of my favorite decks that I've ever made. I love this deck. Now that they got the new support from the new set core, that deck is really boosted this deck to another level. So now I'm going to do a deck profile. I've been doing a lot of DevPro videos on it, and you can really see the power this deck can do. And it really does a lot of OTKs. It really can easily. Gem Knights have always been an OTK deck, but this deck with the new support, they're like easily can do OTKs. Like almost always will OTK an opponent if they get their plays off and combos. So we're gonna start off with we have 3 Garnet. This is a must, mandatory. It lets you get into your fire fusions. Must, you have to have 3, and he's a beater. And 1900 attack, why not? And then I have Gem Knight Tourmaline. This is one of my favorites. It lets you get into your Thunder Gem Knights, especially Topaz, Gem Knight Topaz. I have 3 Gem Knight Obsidian. This card lets you get into it lets you summon. This is the reason why Gem Knights can OTK. This and the other card. 3 it is too. Gem Knight Lazuli. These 2 cards, I have 3 of them in each. This is the reason why Gem Knights can OTK, because when you fuse, you get to add them back to your hand. This one lets you add them back to your hand. Lazuli and Obsidian lets you, the ones you use to fuse from your hand, he lets you special summon them from your graveyard. So basically you can use them, the monsters that you just used to fuse, and basically special summon the Gem Knight from the graveyard, and then you can use that monster to fuse again. Or you can actually, this can help you make some XC plays when you need to, if you need to, whenever you need to. So they extend your plays, and it helps you with your combos. These are very essential for this deck, and this is the reason why they can OTK. I have Gem Knight Gem Armadillo. This is the Stratos. This is what helps them get you get other Gem Knights from your deck. Those Gem Knights I just showed you earlier, it helps you get them. Because those are very important Gem Knights. You have to have them immediately. I have Gem Turtle, because there's no what's that card? A Lavabo Chain. You have to play this card, because if you don't have your key card, it helps you search out your Gem Knight fusion. You will lose. This deck cannot win without that card. It can win, but it's really a struggle. So you need this to get that Gem Knight fusion as fast as possible. And it's a 4-star. You can use it for a fusion as well, because it's a rock type. And you can it has 2,000 defense, so it's not gonna really get ran over easily unless they just destroy it with Dark Hole, and then you're really gonna be crying. So that's the monsters. This is the card you have to have in order to win. Majority of the times, this is the card you will need to win. If you don't have this as fast as possible, you will be losing this duel, the duel that you're dueling in. This card is what helps you get all your plays. When you fuse with it, you can also banish one of the Gem Knights. Say one of these Gem Knights or Lazuli. Most of the time, you're going to be banishing these guys, and then so you can get your Gem Knight fusion back to the hand. Because this card lets it allows you to fuse multiple times. As long as you banish a Gem Knight from your graveyard, you can fuse again. As long as you have a Gem Knight available for a fusion, you can fuse again. So this card is very, very important for this deck. It's the most powerful card in the deck. See, the problem with the Gem Knights, they cannot function that well without the card because most of the Gem Knights are just normals. They're vanillas, basically. They don't have effects. This card right here is one of the new supports. This is the reason why they can do much better now. They're more consistent. This card, basically what it is, it lets you add any Gem Knight card from your deck. You know, I have 3 of them, by the way. It lets you add any Gem Knight card from your deck to the hand. So that's including this or any Gem Knight monster. That's not a fusion, of course. That's a really key card that you need if you don't have your Gem Knight fusion. The other effect is pretty much useless. I would never use that effect. I never use that effect. It lets you fusion summon as well. It can be used as a polymerization as well. But the monsters that you use to fuse the fusion materials are banished. So that's why you don't want to do that, because you need your cards in the graveyard so you can banish them with Gem Knight fusion and fuse again. This card is another one. This is basically future fusion for Gem Knight fusions that it automatically comes out. As soon as you use it, it comes out. And it lets you summon the new boss of this deck, or the secondary boss. And you know, I've seen it in the anime Arc 5. This card is really, really good. And this is one of the reasons why the Gem Knights are more consistent and they can push harder and OTK easier. I might do a combo video on the Gem Knights. I have 3 Mystical Space and 1 Regeki. I'm so happy this card came back. Really, really good card. For the traps, Brilliant Spark. This card is kind of like when your Gem Knight gets destroyed or by attack or a card effect. Basically, you can target the monster that got destroyed or any of the monsters that get destroyed, and then you inflict damage to that their opponent. It's kind of like it's like a miracle magic cylinder, but except the monster has to be destroyed by a battle or a card effect. So I have 1 of that. 1 compulsory. And I have 3 of the Mirror Force. This card is extremely beautiful and secret rare. Extremely beautiful. This card is better than the regular Mirror Force, because what it does exactly what this card does. Because instead of destroying the monster, when the monster attacks, it returns the monsters back to the hand. So this card bypasses Stardust Dragon, and a lot of cards are immune to destruction. So I have 3 of this card. Really, really good card. It's won me so many duels on DevPro. 1 Torrential Tribute. 1 Bottomless Trap Hole. And this is kind of like a tech of mine. Force Back. It's an old card. Probably a lot of people don't even know what this card does. But basically, when a monster is summoned, normal summon, you can negate the summon and put the monster back to the hand. So, you know, Monarchs are really coming up. This card is really going to be good against Monarchs. Because Monarchs getting that new support, they're going to be really dangerous with that new support. This card will get rid of those Monarchs before they even can do anything to you. And Solemn, one of my favorite traps. I always have that card in my decks. Okay, for the extra deck. And this is the leader of the Gem Knights, my favorite, and he's the reason why I built this deck. There's another card too as well. Master Diamond. Basically, when he's fusion summoned, he gains 100 for every Gem Knight in your graveyard. And he can use his other effect is, once per turn, you can basically banish any Gem Knight that's level 7 or lower from your graveyard, and he gains the name of that monster and their effects. So this is the reason why this deck is really powerful. You know, a lot of people didn't overlook this guy, but he is the main. He's probably the most powerful Gem Knight in the deck. One of the most powerful. because he can use the effects over multiple times, you know, and increase your plays. When you use the effects of a Gem Knight, you can fusion summon for him and use the same effect again. And this is the new secondary boss, Gem Knight Lady Brilliant Diamond. The girl in the anime, the Arc 5, she uses this, and this is really good. She uses Gem Knight Master Diamond as well, but this is basically his queen, maybe, or his girlfriend. But she is really good. When you fuse, you basically can easily fuse her straight from the deck by throwing out your Gem Knights from the deck, and then you can fusion summon, because she requires 3, just like Master Diamond, to fusion summon her. So you fusion summon her, and you can send a Gem Knight that you have on the field to summon a Gem Knight from your deck, from your extra deck, I mean. So you can easily special summon him from your extra deck without even having to use the fusion card because of her effect. And she can actually send herself. So I have 2 of them, anyway. She can actually send herself to the graveyard and easily special summon any Gem Knight that you need from the extra deck to suit your situation that you're in the duel. So she is very, very good. Have 2 Zirconia. This is basically a vanilla, but he is a big time beater. Beat stick, 2900 attack. It's no joke. Gem Knight Prismora. This guy is really good. You fuse with Tourmaline, and then you basically use his effect. Basically, you send a Gem Knight card from your hand, and you can pop this card. You most likely be using to send a card, or even probably these 2 to send to the grave to activate his effect, and you can activate their effects when you do that to activate his effect as a cost. Oh no, it probably won't work with those cards. It might. I think it works with her. It doesn't work with Obsidian. So this card is really, really powerful. I only have 1 of him. Against a lot of decks like maybe Shadal that like to play flip effects that destroy you with their flip effects, or Yang Zing and their toolbox type of tactics that are very annoying. This is the deck. This is the reason why Gem Knights can OTK very easily. I have 2 Citron. This guy is basically Armades. He basically attacks with no problem. When you attack the opponent cannot activate any effects. So he basically lets you get a free attack for no reason. This guy is very good. He lets you OTK so easily. And I have Gem Knight Ruby. This Gem Knight is basically it can basically tribute any Gem Knight, and he'll gain their attack points. So basically, you can tribute any of these people, and then he'll gain their attack points, including his boost. His boost, he'll gain his boost, and then he'll attack, and then he can do piercing, and he can he does piercing. So most of the time, if you're going against a deck that likes to play with maybe something like a Spirit Reaper that won't get off the field, you can use this and get over it, and you attack directly. Basically pierce for damage. Or if you run it against someone who's playing Cleese, who has that big tower guy, the boss guy that's so annoying, you can just get over that monster and get rid of him easily with Ruby. So Gem Knights don't have a problem getting over big monsters. That's why I love this deck. This deck is so versatile, and it really can do a lot of damage to opponents. And this is the final Gem Knight. This is my favorite, right beside Master Diamond. This is the reason, these 2 cards are the reason why I built this deck. Because when you summon this card, if he's in the graveyard, after you fuse and summon him, or use Lady Brilliant to send him to the grave, you can use his effect to use Topaz effect, and he can attack twice. and he'll gain his effect, the Flame Wingman effect. Elemental Hero Flame Wingman effect. When he attacks twice, he can and destroy the monster and sends the monster to the graveyard, he can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the attack points of the destroyed monster. So if you're running, because his attack is so high, he'll probably be at 33,000 plus, maybe 31, 33, whatever, 100 attack points. He can get over a lot of monsters, Master Diamond, with the effect of Topaz. So this guy, he lets you OTK so easily when you use his Topaz effect. So this is how you OTK. You can also OTK with this. You can OTK with this very easily if you have 3 of them. I only play with 2 because I focus more on using these guys in my deck. So that's the fusions. The Gem Knights are very powerful, but if they don't have this card, they really can't function very well. Because you need to get those plays off with Gem Knight fusion so you can summon your guys from the extra deck. So for the XCs, everyone who watches my videos, you know I'm a big time fan of the Mega Phantom Beast. So I can't forget my boy Mega Phantom Beast Draco Sack. You can easily make them with, when you make your pushes with him, you can XC with to make Draco Sack. And another card that's really useful in this deck is the new rank 7 that's really strong, very powerful. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. He's also rank 7. You can do the same thing with when you summon 2 of these cards. You can easily make this card, and by that time the opponent would be at low damage, and they try to get over this. By the time they get over, they've already lost. Because every time they activate a card or effect, and it resolves, they're gonna lose 500 attack or damage to their life points. This card is really mean card. It's really strong, and he doesn't get destroyed by card effects. The only way he's gonna get over, their opponent to get over him is if they attack over him. And Divine Dragon Knight Felgrand. This card is really good card. It negates effects, and he can actually protect himself from effects. So I mean, everyone knows what this guy does, and you can easily make him when you have 2 Zirconia on the field. So that's why I run him. And when you make your XC plays for rank 4s, especially when you use this guy's effect, you can easily, I have 2 Castel, you can easily make this guy. And that's pretty much it for the extra deck. So this is my Gem Knight deck, the ones you've been seeing on DevPro. For those who've been wanting to watch, I'm sorry it took a while. I was trying to get all the cards. I didn't have all the cards yet. I don't like making deck profiles through DevPro. I only make deck profiles through my actual cards, if I am going to make a deck profile. So thanks for watching. Thanks for your patience. And I might make a combo video if you want it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to make it yet. But this is the heart and soul of the deck. If this deck doesn't have this card on time, they will be losing. They can't win because most of the monsters they don't have no effects by themselves. So this is my Gem Knight deck, and thanks for watching.